odio, siempre me frena.
Ah.
Ah, man, internet scalpers. Scalpers are the absolute worst. They're not just flipping concert tickets and sneakers anymore, it's literally everything. From graphics cards to Pokemon cards, toys, and consoles, if there's any sort of demand or hype behind a product, scalpers are in the way. And it's not just annoying for the hobby, it's hurting real fans and collectors. And at this point, it's modern day gatekeeping. You can't even enjoy a hobby unless you pay the scalper's toll. So what is a modern day scalper? These are the people that aren't just outside of a venue anymore trying to resell their extra tickets. They are using bots, burner accounts, and pretty much any other method that they can to get their hands on limited edition products. These are the people that are buying up the entire inventory so you don't even have a chance to get your favorite pair of sneakers, your Pokemon cards, or even a console that comes out that you really want to get your hands on. And I'm not gonna lie, at this point, it's like a mini cartel. And these people aren't playing by the rules. They don't wait in lines. They have computer bots that will automate the entire system, skip the line, and get every product before you even have the chance to click add to cart. And in order to avoid the stigma of being a scalper, they often disguise themselves as entrepreneurs, brokers, or resellers. And these are the people that make hobbies not fun anymore. They've essentially gamified the process of buying a product that you want. They are capitalizing off of people's nostalgia and profiting off of people who really want a product. And anytime we talk about scalpers, we have to talk about the current market for Pokemon. Pokemon cards are meant for kids, but right now they're being dominated by adults with a lot of cash and connections. We've all seen those crazy videos of grown men fighting over the vending machines for Pokemon cards. And now even employees and distributors of Pokemon cards are getting in on it. There have been so many scandals of distributors reselling Pokemon products that they got at retail for ridiculous prices. And even huge corporations like GameStop are getting in on this. A product that releases for $50 like an Elite Trainer box, they're selling for $200 plus online. And this isn't just some mom and pop resale shop. This is GameStop, probably the biggest video game exclusive store in the world. And one of the reasons for this massive increase in Pokemon card hype is because of the release of the Pokemon Pocket TCG app. About a year ago, the app released where everyone could kind of get in on the market, try out some Pokemon cards online digitally without having to actually go in a store and buy Pokemon products. This brought back a lot of nostalgia for the people who used to be Pokemon card collectors or kind of just got out of the hobby. And it also introduced some new collectors, people who have probably wanted to try to get into the hobby but never really knew how to or how the process worked. And it was completely free with people just being able to open digital packs and kind of have that hint of what it feels like to open a real physical pack. But with the massive hype of the app releasing, everyone wanted to get their hands on physical packs, resulting in a shortage of the actual packs being available in store, which now scalpers and resellers have taken advantage of and have bought up the entire stock of pretty much every store, especially for the most hyped sets. And with Pokemon cards, it's not even just about not being able to get your hands on them. There are a lot more shady risks involved with the whole process, especially if you're buying from a reseller. Resellers online, whenever they're doing a live stream trying to sell their products, many times they're actually going and reselling packs. So essentially is the process is someone will buy a Pokemon pack from a live streamer, and the live streamer is going to open this product on camera and ship out the cards to the person who bought them. But some people are actually pathetic enough to resell packs that have already been opened, replace them with cards that are not valuable, and then give them to that person. Or in the case of some people, if they open up a pack, they might notice in the very back that it is a very rare and valuable card, and they'll switch it off camera. And I just can't believe the crazy amount of things that people go through to scam their customers, especially people who are actually buying and supporting your live streams. Another tactic that the scalpers use is actually weighing cards. So whenever someone buys a pack, they can actually weigh the pack to see if it has more rare or valuable cards in them. Typically, the higher weight that the pack is, the higher chance that someone is going to be getting a pack that is more rare or valuable. And in the case of some of the Japanese Pokemon cards, there are actually metal detectors to see if you'll be able to get a hit within your pack. So essentially, whenever these resellers weigh these packs, they can take the cards that have the most weight and essentially just keep them for themselves, whereas they will sell the packs online that do not have as much weight because they know that the value that they're going to be able to sell them for is more than the value of the cards in the pack itself. And some people are even crazy enough to use medical grade scanners to be able to see what cards are in the pack, resulting in the resellers keeping all of the rare hits and valuable cards and only selling the duds. The result of this is casual players who don't know any better are getting outpriced and scammed. Then of course, we have the newly released Pokemon vending machines that have been having problems with people trying to scalp them over the recent months. These vending machine locations across the United States at a lot of stores like grocery stores are actually being stocked with resellers watching every time that they possibly will get a restock. These scalpers are tracking their employees, trying to plot out what time these vending machines will actually get restocked and trying to make connections with them so every time they have a chance to get a hit and wait out in line to get these Pokemon cards. And the craziest thing is we've seen so many videos of grown men fighting over Pokemon cards that are meant for children. At this point, it's just sad and pathetic how far people will go just to try to get some money off of the consumers. And we can get into the whole controversy of the fake card market and the companies like PSA who are exploiting the market, which of course results in more people being scammed. But because of that kind of FOMO driven hype, it means people will buy any sort of Pokemon product, which refuels the whole cycle. At this point with Pokemon cards, it's pretty much just weaponized nostalgia. It's using people's previous experiences and love for Pokemon to boost the perceived value of the packs. And at this point, collectors and fans of Pokemon stop being the audience and they're more just like victims now. Kids can't even access the products that is made for them anymore. Which is sad because myself growing up, I used to love Pokemon cards and collecting. And if it was ever at the point like it is now where I can't even get my hands on a single pack of Pokemon cards without paying a reseller, I probably would have just given up on the hobby as a whole. It's just not fun to have to play some sort of game to get your hands on a product that you actually want to enjoy. And of course, it's not just Pokemon cards. This has been happening for years within the streetwear and sneaker community as well. Over the last 5 years or so, the sneaker resale market has steadily declined where it's a lot easier to get products now. But anytime that there's a limited drop, there is guaranteed chaos. Bots have gotten so good that anytime a new release of sneakers comes out on the Nike Sneakers app, or even just a Shopify store, it is gone in seconds and your chances of getting this product is minuscule. Some of the really valuable and hype sneakers can go from $200 to over $1,000 once they're sold out in minutes. And the collectors and casual sneaker wearers don't stand a chance against the resellers. And with specific collabs like Travis Scott Jordans or Supreme box logos or Off-White collabs, they've now become financial investments and not really just a product that you wear for fashion. And to offset the issue of scalpers and resellers within the sneaker market, most stores have introduced raffles to level the playing field. But it still doesn't work, and by result, scalpers just make hundreds of fake accounts and completely bought the system there too. And there are even entire YouTube channels that are focused primarily on teaching people how to resell sneakers and make profit. And at the end of the day, the real people who want to actually have the sneakers in their collection, not to resell, but to wear it or just collect it and have it as a hobby, can't really even enjoy the hobby anymore. And of course, we have to talk about some of the oldest scalping methods. Concert tickets. Ticketmaster has a monopoly on all concert tickets, which has a built-in resale system. And at this point, verified resale just means legalized scalping. For example, one of the biggest recent events that we've seen with concert ticket scalping is the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Tickets to her concert that originally released for $24 were being resold for $3,000, $4,000 plus. People who don't even care about the artist or want to go to that concert will buy up the tickets and resell them because they know that the demand of seeing the specific artist exceeds the amount of seats that are available at that specific venue. For most cases, buying tickets seems like a lottery system and not just a regular transaction of being able to buy tickets and just go see your favorite artist live. And typically, in most cases, this is for the general admission tickets and cheap seats that go instantly, which results in people just being fatigued and over it. They spend more time trying to buy the tickets than actually being able to enjoy the concert itself. And of course, there's so many other things that are being resold which are just completely ridiculous, including consoles. For example, the PS5, the Switch 2, and even just Nvidia GPUs are sold out instantly. People will hoard 20 to 30 units of these consoles and flip them. At that point, it's not even about resell or hustling, it's literally hoarding. And with new console releases, gaming has now become a luxury, not just a hobby or a favorite pastime of someone. It's not for fans anymore, it's for flippers and scalpers. And manufacturers have been trying to change that with a new direct-to-customer model, but scalpers always seem to adapt fast and find a way around the system. For example, with the recent Nintendo Switch 2 drop, Nintendo tried to do a few things to combat scalpers. The first being to add limits on products, of course, but also to introduce a few new methods. The first being to try and sell directly to people who already have a Nintendo online account. And Nintendo has even stated that they're making a ridiculous amount of supply beforehand to just prevent this issue from happening in general. But the shortages of these consoles and GPUs are hurting everyone on all sides. In the case of the Nvidia chips, it's being fueled by both crypto miners and resellers, which are the worst of both worlds. This is forcing gamers to pay like $1,500 for a $500 console or $1,200 for a $600 GPU, which is just not affordable to the average person. And over time, supply eventually catches up, but for most people, the damage is already done. Some of these buyers are just so sick and fed up with the whole process of just trying to get the product they want, so they're actually hiring scalpers to buy the products for them. It's literally, if you can't beat them, join them. And the whole culture of this has just got completely ridiculous. People are even scalping DMV appointments with bots. They're selling free bookings to the DMV for $250. There have even been some cases of people flipping Popeyes sandwiches. And it's just a never-ending cycle. The more hype equals the more chaos equals the more profit for these scalpers. And this is now affecting everyday people who are now competing with a bot just to renew their license. And this really just shows how low scalpers will go. Anything can become a product. And it's way worse than you think, because at this point, scalpers have rigged the system to be able to buy the products before they've even hit the shelves. Casual fans, collectors, and kids are just completely shut out from the hobby, and it's not fun anymore. And the crazy part is, some of these companies and brands are actually benefiting from this hype and scalping in general. The more hype means that more people are buying their products and they're going to be more successful. Scalping isn't just a side hustle, especially whenever you're buying kids products. And most companies actually do try their best to prevent this from happening. Limiting items per customer, producing more of the product itself, introducing raffles and queue systems. But the truth is, there is no solution. The real solution is us, the people who actually want to enjoy the hobby. The only way that people can actually prevent this from happening is to stop buying from the scalpers. Even if it has that sense of FOMO and it hurts to wait, eventually you will probably be able to get that product at a reduced rate. The less attention that you give to scalpers, the less clicks they have, means the less profit. And these hobbies are supposed to be fun for people. They're not supposed to be a battleground of grown men fighting over vending machines. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think scalpers have gone too far? Have you ever bought from a scalper? Personally, I think it's okay to resell things every so often, but these scalpers and resellers have taken it just completely too far. Like, if Pokemon cards that are made for kids and the kids can't even buy the products, like, what's the whole point? I don't know. In my opinion, that's just completely unethical and pathetic. But while you're here, make sure you check out some of my other videos on my channel that are similar to this one. And while you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.